Hello there friend, in this video we are unboxing the Vanari Bladelords. We will assemble one too and compare it to a much older but similar model. That model being this, a Swordmaster of Hoeth. Nominally the Bladelords are for Age of Sigmar, but underneath their branding they are really generic elves that could be used in many different fantasy games. Indeed, they are really Swordmasters of Hoeth, rebooted and rebranded for the Age of Sigmar. First thing to say about these chaps is, oh my life, how expensive are they? Seriously, I looked them up on Games Workshop's web store and they are wanting £37.50 for just one box. That works out as £7.50 for each model. Before I opened the box up, I did wonder if they were giant, roided up elves, given that price. But no, they are just regular sized elves. Honestly, that really is quite a lot of money for 5 little plastic men. I must confess, I was a bit lucky. Well, I should say opportunistic, because I bagged mine very cheaply on an eBay auction. There was a listing for 5 boxes and I dropped a minimum bid, not really expecting to win, but no one else bid. It was like 5 boxes for the price of 2. Wow, look at that! That is the only reason I bid, because otherwise I was not really interested in either Age of Sigmar or this faction. I have a few ideas of what I might do with them, but I will share that with you later. If you are interested in getting these kits, you will not likely be that lucky. But if you are interested in this kit, there will be links to places like eBay, Element Games and Wayland Games, where at least you will not have to pay the full price that Games Workshop wants. Before I get into the box contents, I have a few observations about them from the box art. I already said they are rebranded Swordmasters of Hoeth, but their helmets are more like Greek hoplite helmets, and they also have samurai style back banners. Alright, let's break into one of these boxes then and see what preciousness lies within. We have 3 very small sprues that actually could have been just one sprue and seemingly did all come from one mold. There's a little bag of bases and a booklet. Let's have a look at the sprues then. There are a few extra head options, enough great swords for all 5, or alternatively it looks like 2 could be made into dual wielders of smaller swords. Most bodies are in just 2 parts, a front and a back piece. Back banners for all of them, some really quite small and fiddly pieces there, like the brooches for their cloaks. Bases are quite big, I'm guessing 30mm in diameter. Let me measure that. Yes, 30mm. The models will have quite dramatic poses when made with a wide stance, so that would be why they want bases that big. I will be donating these bases to my Warhammer 40k projects because I will be putting these lads on square bases for Warhammer Fantasy Battles or Warhammer Old World when it comes out. In the booklet we have assembly instructions and at the back the rules for using them in Age of Sigmar. The last part is of no interest to me obviously. The assembly instructions will be crucial though. Games Workshop's newer plastic kits are not nearly as forgiving of just winging assembly as they used to be. It used to be all the parts like heads and arms were pretty much interchangeable. More and more though, only particular parts will marry up together. So you will have to have the instruction booklet to get the right parts together. Now I'm going to snip one out to assemble. There we go, it was pretty fiddly but I got there in the end. I haven't actually fully assembled him, I left off the back banner. Since I will be using these in Warhammer Fantasy Battles, I will only want 1 standard bearer per unit, not 1 per model. That's just me, you do you. So let's see how he compares to the old metal Swordmaster. They are more or less the same height, so I think I can get away with mixing the 2 into 1 unit. The Swordmaster is more compact and would rank up easily or even on this small 20mm square base. The Bladelord is a wide boy though, taking up as much floor space as he can. With such a wide stance I had to put him on a 25mm square. He might still not rank up too easily with his sword overhanging the base. Right, so now if you will hang out with me a little bit longer, I will share with you my wacky plans for what to do with all these elves. Given what I said before, you might suspect that I will be running them as Swordmasters of Hoeth for a High Elves army. But no, see, in another auction I also bagged this Tree People Start Collecting box, really cheap. I don't fancy making 2 different elf armies, so my idea is to make a Wood Elf army and run these models as Wildwood Rangers. Wildwood Rangers are also elite elves armed with great weapons. You might think that won't work because the style is High Elf, not Wood Elf, but they are all elves. I think all it will take is to give them a Wood Elf palette of colours when painting them. High Elves are all in white, silver and blue. For Wood Elves you want earthy colours, browns, greens, with perhaps some autumnal colours like red and orange for some variation. I expect I'll make a video about this in the future. So if you'd like to see how that turns out, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye!